And welcome back to another episode of Off Script. And before I even get into the video today, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps me out immensely. On this channel, we do all sorts of videos. I go to college campuses all across the country. We go to tailgates, the facilities, the games, all 9 yards. We also talk a lot of ball around here, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. But getting into the video today, it's going to be a relatively short one, so not too bad. But this is a team I've wanted to talk about for a while. I've been dropping hints every now and then. We're going to roll some clips here. Yeah, I like how he just runs the offense. The guys rally around him. And I was watching that West Virginia. It was last Friday, and he just looks confident out there for a freshman. It's awesome to see. It really is.
You have a pick in that one?
I do. I mean, I got to go the Cougs.
Yeah.
And we were talking with Caden. He was like, "Who's your Big 12 team?" And we were big on the Utes early.
It's a good one.
And they ripped my heart out in that Texas Tech game a couple weeks ago. I was like, dang. So I'm pivoting. I'm going BYU.
Hitting the portal.
Yeah, I'm hitting the portal. BYU is now my Big 12 team this year. I think, hopefully, if they can keep the momentum going. And I feel like I always talk about momentum, but it's true in college football.
Huge.
It's huge.
Holy War
we can do that
BYU.
on the back porch later
Yeah,
tonight.
we can do that
another
too.
video.
Break it down.
It'd be fun. You can
Shout out BYU. Hopefully they get it done.
I'm all in on the BYU hype train this year, and I think this is their second year in a row starting off 7-0, so they're doing something right over there. And Kalani Sitake, overall, just running a great program, just instilling the culture of brotherhood, of family, and that kind of was solidified in my mind. I watched the recap on the BYU YouTube channel of the Utah game and his post-game press conference and just his speech to his team post-game, kind of congratulating them, obviously, and saying he loves them, which is great for a coach to say, but also giving thanks to Utah and for bringing the best out of them, especially being your rival, too, and saying you love them. I just think he's such a genuine guy, humble guy, and you expect that as someone from BYU. Just BYU fans in general, or just a BYU person, I feel like is a very genuine person, very humble, just a nice, solid person overall. So shout out BYU fans. But let's move on here. Let's talk a little bit Cougars football here. Obviously, starting off with the main man here that everyone's been talking about recently, freshman standout Bear Bachmire. He's thrown for 1,386 yards, rushed for 359 yards. And the thing with me when I'm thinking about this guy, he's just a freshman that's making plays that freshmen shouldn't make. And the one that really stands out to me right now and kind of solidified him as a BYU legend so far is this run he had against Utah this past game. Little QB draw right up the middle, had a little jump cut, did something crazy, and then drove his legs, also had help from the O-line, so shout out O-line, but drove his legs and then got into the end zone. I just think that drive, that grit that he has, his playing style is really not similar to anyone I've really seen before, especially as a freshman. So the fact he's making plays like this and continues to make plays, this is not just a one-time thing. So I'm really high on this kid, and I think he will be the difference in BYU this season. Moving on, LJ Martin, the running back for BYU, is an absolute dude. 774 total rushing yards so far, averaging 6.1 yards per carry. And we love talking about this on the show. That's basically a first down every single time you run it. Just like boom, boom, first down, boom, boom, first down. So you got to love that. And then again, shout out to the O-line for getting that push because it's not all on him. Because he's making a move, and he's a talented back, yes. But the O-line's getting that push, so shout out to them. And then the defense, playing possessed. They're gritty. And the one thing I love about this defense is when they make plays, when they get an interception, when they get a sack, when they get a hard hit on the sideline against Utah, they're celebrating together. They're not egotistical at all. Like I said, they're a family. They're a cohesion together. I love it. I absolutely love it. But like I said earlier, 7-0 start here. With that comes expectations, and now you're thinking playoff expectations. So looking at the schedule remaining, not a cakewalk. This past week, or upcoming week, I should say, at Iowa State this week. So tough game, really is. I think it's like a 5, maybe 2.5, 5.5 point spread, something like that. But still, cannot go into that one lightly. Should be a nice test. Then you have a bye week, and then a huge one at Texas Tech. That could be the difference of who makes a Big 12 championship and who doesn't. And that, I'd assume, probably will be College game day. So don't take my word for it yet, but maybe. And then at Cincy, too, who's also making a case for the Big 12 championship. So some big games coming up. And you're playing your best ball right now, so I do have faith. Playoff lock, potentially. If you win those 2, or 2 out of those 3, I feel like you would find your way in there. But overall, I think BYU definitely has, I'd say, more than a fair shot at the playoff this year. I think they have the talent to do it. Their offense is humming. Their defense plays relatively well and just is a gritty defense. But yeah, no, BYU fans, I appreciate you guys so much. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you guys. I know you're a large fan base on YouTube, so feed me your thoughts. But I appreciate you guys watching. Do not forget to subscribe, like the video. I'll see you soon.